ASUS has never ceased to impress me every year with their Zenbooks. This is the 2023 ASUS Zenbook 14X OLED, and it technically succeeds both the Zenbook 14 UX3402 and Zenbook 14X UX5401 with a new model number UX3404. It features a similar chassis design like last year's Zenbook 14 OLED, but it's got a larger 14.5-inch OLED display and now comes with 13th Gen Intel Core i series processors, making it one of the most powerful and slickest laptops you can buy in the market. I've been dating driving this for a month, and here are my thoughts. With a larger display, there's definitely some slight hardware design changes, starting with the new display hinges where it no longer comes with the ergolift hinge that tilts the laptop's height for a better typing experience. This in fact makes it more comfortable to use it on your lap, and despite that, it is still slightly raised with a higher rubber fit and can still be opened to a 180-degree angle. The keyboard now resides in an embossed cutout which offers better key travel. The recessed power button with a fingerprint reader is gone, and though that sounds like a pretty dumb decision, an accidental short press of the power button thankfully doesn't make the laptop go to sleep instantly. And I very much prefer the responsive IR camera to lock into windows compared to using my fingerprints. And speaking of it, the laptop has an excellent Full HD webcam this time with great image enhancement features. Port selection is still the same as before with 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports and full-size HDMI 2.1 port on the right, and 1 full-size USB 3.1 Gen 2 port on the left. I am actually a little disappointed that the USB-C ports are all located on the right, as I would like to have one on each side to conveniently charge the laptop. On a side note, the slightly larger display size and footprint increases the laptop's weight to 1.5 kilograms. It is pretty noticeable compared to its predecessor, even though it's just 100 grams heavier. ASUS didn't just give the Zenbook 14X OLED a larger display than its predecessors, but it also refreshes faster at 120Hz compared to 90Hz previously, and thankfully retains the same 2880 by 1800 pixel resolution. The display can automatically switch to 60Hz when it runs on battery to conserve power. But my review unit unfortunately does not come with a touchscreen. The loudspeakers of the laptop continues to be tuned by Harman Kardon and now supports Dolby Atmos. It has good volume and very punchy bass that sounds quite on par with the MacBook Air M2. So here's how it sounds like. Powering my unit is a Core i7-13700H processor with Intel Iris Xe graphics, 16 gigs of LPDDR5 RAM, and a terabyte of storage. It isn't the top configuration that ASUS is selling here, as it comes with up to an Intel Core i9-13900H, 32 gigs of LPDDR5 RAM, and GeForce RTX 3050 laptop GPU, which is going to be very useful for content creators that require powerful performance in a portable laptop. And compared to the Zenbook 14 OLED, it is a huge bump in performance. I tried editing a 10-minute 4K video on Adobe Premiere Pro with my unit, and I am extremely impressed with how well it handles scrubbing my timeline. While exporting my project with a 50 Mbps variable bitrate takes about 12 minutes, which isn't the fastest export time but nonetheless impressive for an Ultrabook standard. Such performance can only be achieved when you enable the performance fan mode within the My ASUS app, which allows the CPU to perform up to 45 watts of power but requires you to stay plugged in. What further impressed me is the fan noise and thermals of the laptop. The cooling fan didn't make a ruckus when I was exporting my video project, as the iGPU was doing most of the heavy lifting in the export process, and CPU temperatures remains at a reasonable 73 degrees Celsius. HW Info records that the CPU did hit close to its 5 GHz turbo frequency at some point, but in my test, it usually goes up to 4 GHz when I'm pushing it. Although my review unit didn't come with discrete graphics, it can still run some games very well at 1080p resolution with mid to high graphics setting, though I would advise against it as it can get really hot and uncomfortable on the left side of the working area. But overall, I encountered no performance issues when I played GTA 5 for over an hour. Unlike its predecessor, the new Zenbook 14X OLED is fitted with the same 71-hour battery that's on the regular Zenbook 14, which I was able to get up to 7.5 hours of productivity usage on a single charge when running the balanced power profile and 60Hz refresh rate. This is very commendable, considering that it is equipped with a powerful H-series processor compared to the P-series processor on the Zenbook 14 last year, while last year's Zenbook 14X OLED merely offered up to 5 hours of battery life with a 12th Gen Intel H-series processor. The 2023 Zenbook 14X OLED ultimately combines the best of last year's Zenbook 14 OLED and Zenbook 14X OLED into one single device. I love the subtle design changes, larger 14.5-inch 120Hz OLED display, and improved performance from the 13th Gen Intel Core H-series processors. This is a pretty good laptop for productivity and casual content creation. It starts at 4,999 ringgit for the Core i5 model, 5,999 for the Core i7 model, and 6,999 ringgit for the Core i9 and RTX 3050 model, which is a very reasonable asking price compared to its competition, the M2 MacBook Air, which I think this is an excellent choice if you are looking for a similar class content creation laptop. So yeah, that's all for my thoughts on the all-new 2023 Zenbook 14X OLED. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos coming right out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.